La, la, la. Does anyone else suddenly feel a million times better in life? Great things happen, ladies and gentlemen, when Jonathan Kuminga plays. I say this over and over again because it's a damn fact. The Golden State Warriors snap their 5-game losing streak. Jonathan Kuminga scores a career high. It is no coincidence, folks, that he plays and the Warriors won without Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. Let's break it down. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Golden Days.
They always find something to nitpick, and that's because there's expectations for us to win. It was a pretty crazy night.
Woo! Let's go!
In a minute, I'ma need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up. Come on and break me off. 'Cause I get what I want and I like what I see.
This was the old Warriors, ladies and gentlemen. When I say old Warriors, I mean like a rookie go. Defense back. Let us back. Turnovers down. Hey now. Hey, and welcome to the Golden Days. I am your host for the evening, Cyrus Saatsaz. You can follow me over on Threads at Dog Wild. Same with Instagram. I might have to get on the Blue Sky tip at some point just because I feel like a lot of people are there. I do have an account. It's at Golden Days. We'll see if I get started on there. I'm also on Twitter at Surf Journalist. The program is on all social media platforms at Golden Days Pod, except for Blue Sky, where it's just Golden Days. The Golden State Warriors. What a game. This was pivotal. This was desperately needed. Dub Nation was going through depression. People's hopes for this team were dwindling with each loss. The losing streak was up to 5. And then with both Stephen Curry and Draymond Green out, the Golden State Warriors win a grinded out defensive battle. This was a defensive win above all else. But Jonathan Kuminga, a career high, 33 points. He played 33 minutes. Play this kid. I saw my good friend Mark Spears on social media tweeting out, can Kuminga deliver this consistently? That's the question. The answer is play him. And yes, it is not complicated, ladies and gentlemen. I got to give a shout out to Andrew Wiggins. It was the Kuminga and Wiggins show. Those two are physical. They're long. They're athletic. And when they're both on top of their game, the Warriors are damn difficult to beat. But this game reminded at least me. And I'll post a link in a little bit for the audience because I know people are going to want to come on here and celebrate. Let me just get through the start of this in terms of giving the details. Maybe play some sound if it comes down fast. But this was the Warriors that we saw start the season 10-2, start the season 12-3. It wasn't offense. It wasn't flash. It was grit. It was defense. It was playing with force. It was playing with aggressiveness. It is, I don't think, side note, and I don't mean to slight Steph or Draymond in any regard, but the Golden State Warriors tonight, even though you'll see the turnover stat, and it'll say 10, which is not minuscule, but it's not nearly as high as we've seen it lately. And I don't think, again, no disrespect to Stephen Curry and Draymond Green, but I don't think it's a coincidence that with those two out, they are flash in a lot of regards in terms of their style of play, and they turn the ball over a lot. Tonight, 10 total turnovers. The Warriors win this game 99-93, but we got to start, obviously, with Jonathan Kuminga. 33 points in this game, 6 rebounds in this game. And I was a little skeptical of how this was going to go because we saw the same old tried and true Steve Kerr rotations, at least in the first half. We were seeing lineups substituted in and out. For some reason, Podziemski, Kuminga, and Kevon Looney were a lineup in terms of substitutions. And it was a friendly reminder that Steve Kerr scripts these things. He rarely improvises in terms of substitutions during the game. And the first half, I mean, I'm looking at the numbers right now, or the stats, I'm sorry. And Jonathan Kuminga in the first half played 13 minutes, 11 seconds. Wiggins had 16 minutes, 39. Brandon Podziemski played 16 minutes, 8 seconds. And in my mind, when the score was 49-43 at the half, my thought was, here we go again. Kuminga's going to get screwed over. The minutes are not going to be there. But surprises happen in life, folks. And Steve Kerr surprised a lot of us this evening by showing faith in his young 22-year-old wing. And that faith delivered big time, because Kuminga, again, finished this game with a beautiful night. He was +7 in terms of net rating, 33 points, a career high, added 6 rebounds in this game. He was 3 of 6 from deep, and those threes were timely. They stemmed in a lot of cases big runs by the Rockets, gave the Warriors momentum in the process, was 13 of 22 from the field. And in the highlight package, that final play is what's going to be shown everywhere, right? I mean, the Warriors are looking to close this game out. And again, this is where Steve Kerr surprised the ever-living shit out of me by putting the ball in Kuminga's hands time and time again. Smart timeouts being called near the end. Timeouts that progress the ball from the baseline to half court. You knew the Rockets were going to implement a full court defense. They're a great defensive team themselves. But every time those ATOs were scripted after the timeout plays by Steve Kerr, and that's one of the brilliant facets of his coaching, he was setting it up for Kuminga, and he kept it simple. He just literally said, JK, we're just going to give the ball to you and do your thing. These guys can't stop you. And they couldn't. It was beautiful. Kuminga was isolated with Dylan Brooks on him. And what does Kuminga do on that final play to seal this game? Just takes it to the bucket, drops it in. And you saw Stephen Curry and Draymond Green going absolutely nuts in that celebratory scrum there at the end. Maybe scrum's not the right word, just the mosh pit that they formed. And yeah, Kev F in the chat writing, the question isn't can Kuminga deliver consistently, it's whether or not Steve Kerr can consistently give JK minutes. Just because Kuminga has a slow start does not mean he's going to have a slow finish. There is no player in the NBA who from beginning to end of a 48-minute game is going to be efficient on literally every possession. Everybody makes mistakes. As I mentioned a moment ago, the turnovers were down tonight because Steph and Dre weren't playing. And just give this kid minutes. That is what it will eliminate these discussions, these debates about consistency. So bravo to Jonathan Kuminga, who was the leading scorer, was the best player. And the Houston Rockets are clearly, like, when that team shows up, JK, for whatever reason, his eyes widen up and he's ready to take control, because this was now the second time this year that it was the Kuminga show. The Rockets clearly, in the same way that the Clippers for some reason just thrive playing the Warriors, Jonathan Kuminga thrives when he plays the Houston Rockets. But Kuminga wasn't the only guy that was lighting it up tonight. Again, he was the star of the show for the evening, and rightfully so, given the stats, given the clutch buckets. And I want to finish, by the way, with Kuminga. I want to read off to you his fourth quarter numbers, because the NBA finally has published the media box score that I rely on, which gives all the little details that make me sound a lot smarter than I really am. And so Kuminga in the fourth quarter played all 12 minutes. Bravo, Steve Kerr. I will give Kerr kudos when he does smart things, okay? I don't hate the man. It's just he does a lot of dumb things very frequently, and I just can't help it. I cannot help criticize the man for the actions that are dumbfounding on a very consistent basis, speaking of consistency. But tonight, props. You gave Kuminga 12 minutes in the fourth, and he delivered. He was 6 of 8 from the field, a 14-point fourth quarter for Jonathan Kuminga. All he had to do was make all his free throws. It was the one blemish in his game tonight, and that was a blemish for a lot of players. It is incredibly sad that the Golden State Warriors are dead last in the NBA in terms of free throw percentage, and tonight was more the same. The Warriors hit just 66.7% of their free throws tonight. Kuminga in this game was 4 of 6. Andrew Wiggins was 4 of 7. Pods missed a free throw. He was 3 of 4. Moses Moody, who I thought had a great game, even though the box score will not reflect that. I think he was still playing some clutch minutes out there. But from the free throw line, he was 3 of 6. The Warriors were 18 of 27 from the charity stripe, 66.7%. That will not cut it in the grand scheme of things. But regardless, they won. They pulled through. And JK, brother, you did it, my man. Kudos to Jonathan Kuminga. What a great game for him. 33 points, a new career high. And all I can hope for, and I don't know if you folks feel the same way, but all I can hope for is that this is the start of consistency when it comes to minutes coming from Steve Kerr. JK needs to play, plain and simple. By the way, if someone in the chat can help me out here, because I did not do my research on this before we started, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Golden State Warriors are now 4-1 this year when Stephen Curry doesn't play. And that symbolizes the depth of this team. I mean, this was not the case in years past. In most seasons when Stephen Curry was out of action, you'd see results similar to the Nuggets without Jokic, a team that's lost, a team that just like that loses their identity. But this year, and this is the depth of the Warriors, they're now, and again, I hope someone in the chat can confirm this, but if my numbers are correct, they're now 4-1 this season without Stephen Curry. That is very different. And I think, look, me personally, I don't know about how you folks feel, especially if you're a Warriors fan, if you call yourself a member of Dub Nation, but games like these, the pleasure I get out of them comes from the fact that this is the future. The Warriors beat the number 2 team in the Western Conference tonight without their 2 best players. And imagine this team as constructed 3 years from now, 5 years from now. That gets me giddy. That gets me excited. And the chat's absolutely comedy. Some hatred for Brandon Podziemski. I thought Pods played a good game tonight. There's some defensive lapses. We'll get into that and so much more. But JK, brother, Jonathan Kuminga, great things happen when JK plays. And Andrew Wiggins also had a great night tonight. He needs to be tonight he was the Robin to JK's Batman. Wiggins was playing some clutch minutes, especially in the interior. He was scoring when needed. He was grabbing tough rebounds when needed. 23 points for Wiggins tonight, 9 rebounds for Wiggins tonight. He was 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, 75% shooting from deep. And when you're putting up 4 and hitting 75%, bravo, my man. 8 of 15 for Wiggins from the field, 9 rebounds for Wiggins. Did have 3 turnovers, same with Kuminga, but you live with those when they're putting up 20-plus points a game. And Wiggins was also a plus 14 when it comes to net rating. So kudos to JK and Andrew Wiggins, a duo that we saw together at the start of the season, and then we've rarely seen them together since. I don't know why that is. Those two are easily your most athletic players, your 2 of your longest players. I mean, those two can match up with anyone defensively in the NBA. Teams cannot switch and gain advantages if it's a choice between Wiggins and Kuminga. And I don't understand why. I don't understand why those two aren't playing more often together. I know I'll take a look later at net rating, and I understand that the net rating stats in the past have not looked great when those two were on the floor together, but this is not going to work if those two are not on the court together consistently because of just how much trouble they cause for the opposition. It is insane. Anyways, and when you look at the scoring for the Warriors tonight, JK leading the way with 33, Andrew Wiggins with 23, and that is it for double-digit scoring. When it comes to everyone else, they were all in single digits. Your next leading scorer was a bunch of players with 8. You had Podziemski scoring 8. Actually, only 2 players. It was Brandon Podziemski and Kyle Anderson. And folks, if I'm going to tab someone as the 3rd best player in tonight's game, I'm giving that nod to Kyle Anderson. I don't understand why he gets the limited minutes that he does. He only played 14 minutes tonight. As Bob Fitzgerald mentioned on the broadcast, Kyle Anderson used to be a guard when he played in his younger years. And then like a lot of athletes, he experienced this growth spurt, suddenly becomes a big, but he still has those skills. And there's a lot of other players that have experienced that. I believe Giannis Antetokounmpo had experienced that at some point in his career. These late growth spurts, Kevon Looney is another example. So Kyle Anderson we all know he can handle the ball, but he can finish as well. And he's literally, not exaggerating, the tallest player in the Warriors. I think he needs to get more minutes. Pinoy Reformat in the chat saying that Kuminga looks like he's 6'9". I think he's listed as 6'7", but you're absolutely right. He's a big dude out there. Kai17. Kai, great to see you, friend. Saying Pods is doing okay. He's only 21 years old. He turns 22 in a couple months. Yeah, I didn't think Pods was bad tonight at all. Podziemski played 36 minutes, 43 seconds. We all know Steve Kerr has, among many crutches, perhaps his biggest one is relying so heavily on ball handlers. I'll always wonder if Andre Iguodala and Sean Livingston were ever going to be a part of this if they didn't have point guard skills as ball handlers. Kerr is infatuated, obsessed with it. So Podziemski naturally gets 36 minutes. The shot was not necessarily there. He was only 2 of 9 from the field. And again, there are moments where he is lost. But despite the fact he scored 8 points tonight, the dude was playing the point guard role, in my opinion, from what I saw, beautifully. When it comes to pace, when it comes to controlling the tempo of a game, he was masterful at that. And he grabbed 12 rebounds, folks. And some of those rebounds were clutch. There was one rebound that he grabbed over one of the biggest players in the NBA, Steven Adams, who was having his way inside in the 17 minutes he played. So Podziemski, again, I understand the critics are out there. I understand that shooting wise, he is a long ways away from establishing himself as an elite NBA player. But 8 points, 12 rebounds, not bad. I will live with that, and especially when they come away with the win. And again, has their depression suddenly lifted up? Renato Santo, good to see you. Dropping that Hong Kong currency, 78 Hong Kong dollars, whatever that translates to, saying, happy day, Kuminga's best game ever. Thank you, brother, for the kind words. And I'll post the link now in case anyone wants to join. I'll try to play some sound if it comes down. I'd love to hear from some of the players in terms of their feedback. But this was a badly needed win for the Golden State Warriors. Snaps a 5-game losing streak. I think Traveling Urquidez in the chat mentioned that the Warriors have now won 15 in a row over the Rockets. You got to love that mental edge that they have over them. We've seen the other side of that coin, the Nuggets with an 8-game winning streak now over the Warriors, but the Warriors with a 15-game winning streak over the Rockets. They're going to play the quarterfinal of the NBA Cup next week in Houston. So this game, I think, bodes very well for the Warriors' chances going into that matchup. Apologies for the drink of water. Anyways, and I see something in the chat here. Hold on, I got to highlight this. Jill Espina writing, did JK do a slow-mo? I saw that as well. I think Fitzgerald was, or Clint Azubuike, the color commentator for the Warriors, made a reference to that there was at least one play where JK, you saw him emulating slow-mo and here's the beautiful thing about slow-mo and that style of play. He forces others to play at his pace. And that's what JK did, at least on one drive that I totally know what you're talking about, Joel Espina, in the game tonight, where he just basically was doing that it's not a Euro step. It's hard to explain what Kyle Anderson does out there, but it's awesome. And Bree CS writing, I think what she writes, or I'm guessing she, please forgive me if I get that wrong, writing, and I think what you write encapsulates what a lot of people feel about Brandon Podziemski, which is, quote, I'm nervous every time Pods shoots. Yeah, the shot is not there yet. It will be there, hopefully. It's not there yet. But this was a damn good, feel-good game for the Golden State Warriors tonight. I think this team needed it. I think Dub Nation needed it. I don't know if you're a psychopath like me whose emotions literally ride with this team's success. I hate that I'm vulnerable in that regard, but I do, man. I get depressed when the team goes into a 5-game losing streak. It's pathetic. I'm not proud of that at all, but it's the reality of things. So at least for anyone else who feels the way I feel about the Golden State Warriors, I hope you're a little happier tonight as well. Let me get the link out there for anyone that wants to join us for this evening. And then I'm going to take a quick look at the chat. I'm sorry, not the chat, at the wire to see if there's any sound, because I'd love to hear from Warriors players. I'd even love to hear from Steve Kerr. Again, great coaching in the fourth quarter. And I really wish from the bottom of my heart that Steve Kerr would realize that if he just stopped overthinking it with Kuminga, if whatever his issue is, like my guess here, my theory, and this is just a theory, is entirely just me spitballing here, but my guess is JK does something that Kerr doesn't like. There's some little thing that just peeves him and forces him to yank him out. Get over that, please. Whatever the issue is with Jonathan Kuminga, Steve Kerr, that forces you to pull him out of games way sooner than he should, that forces you to play him way less than he should, get over it, please, because this will consistently happen if you play this kid. He's too damn good for 15-minute nights, 19-minute nights. Give him 25 minimum, ideally 30 plus. I'd love to see 36, but we'll take what we can get. Kai, you're on the show. Great to see you. Even if I can only hear you. How are you? Your reaction to a phenomenal game.
Listen, man, it was awesome. Absolutely awesome. You know what? I was watching that game, and around halftime, I was saying to myself, Cyrus must be smiling from ear to ear. That man must be the happiest man in California tonight.
One of them tonight.
Yes, because I tell you what, not only did Steve Kerr keep Kuminga out there, he was running plays for him. And
exactly.
He was running plays for him, and that's what this kid is 22 years old. You have to work him, put him to work. When you have him out there, put him to work. Because another thing that I don't know if you've noticed this, but I don't like Kuminga receiving the ball while he's standing still. I like him receiving the ball right after he makes his first step. Because if he gets the ball in stride, there is no defender in this league that has a chance against him when he gets that ball when he's already starting downhill.
Yes, sir.
But
100%.
when he gets it at a standstill, that's when he runs it, because his handles are not fully developed. He's only 22. His handles are going to get... Kuminga is reminding me of Jaylen Brown 3 years ago.
And the ball handles real fast, just to add on to that, you're right. It's going to get better, but folks, if you're watching the Warriors as closely as I don't know how closely you watch Kai, but at least as much as I do, it's a night and day improvement for what we saw his rookie year. I mean, you couldn't trust that guy to bring the ball up his rookie season. Now he's looking like the way a shooting guard traditionally handles the ball. He's confident enough to bring it up. He's crossing people over. And just like you said, man, and I know I said this earlier, I'll say it again because it was such a beautiful moment of Warriors basketball in the entire timeline of this franchise. Kerr literally put the ball in Kuminga's hands with Dylan Brooks on him and the game on the line, and he was comfortable with that.
No chance.
Trusted him with that.
Dylan Brooks had no chance. He had absolutely no chance. Because I tell you what, when that kid starts elevating, he looks like, I'm trying to see the player from the past that he reminds me of when he starts, and because he goes up hard, but he also has a soft touch around. He comes down soft with it when he goes up. He has staying power. He doesn't just go up and come down. He actually has staying power. Once he gets up there, he can stay up there for a while. And I really like what I saw. Not only that, it wasn't just tonight's game. I think back-to-back, the last game and this game, the Denver game and this game, might be Kuminga's two best games this season.
Yeah, the Denver game, I don't know about you, Kai. I mean, Jamal Murray and Jokic, there was a lot of luck in those blocks, man, on Kuminga at the end there. It was such a fluky thing. It was frustrating. But I totally agree with you, because without those two blocks at the end, Kuminga would have been the hero, and I think it would have won that game.
The Denver game, you know what I put that down to? The Denver game, I just told myself, you know what? You got beaten by Jokic. And if you're going to get beaten by anybody in this league, it might as well be Jokic. He's the best player in the league. We just got beaten by Jokic in that game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I'm very happy with what I saw tonight. I hope Steve Kerr does not revert.
Yes. And you're absolutely right. And Steve Kerr in his post-game press conference, hopefully I'll have some sound for you soon, but the early report from what he said is that the plan is for Stephen Curry to play tomorrow. This was the first of a back-to-back for the Warriors. They host the Minnesota Timberwolves tomorrow. And then maybe the bigger news here, because Steph is just on a load management kind of situation here. Like, there's no specific injury he's dealing with. It's just creaky knees. I mean, shit, I almost am tempted. I mean, I'm going to play it right now, but I didn't think this clip would be making a comeback. But with Stephen Curry.
Oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. Oh.
But the difference is Andre Iguodala at the end of his career, like he was like Mr. Glass. Like, he was getting injured like 24/7. His body was breaking down. I don't think Stephen Curry's at that point, but he's missing games just to stay fresh because he's getting older. Draymond Green, there were some scary reports out there. Steve Kerr said Draymond might play tomorrow. Kai, I'll leave it on this note because I got other folks waiting. What are your thoughts on that, man? Like my immediate reaction is, let's hope that doesn't affect the good mojo that the Warriors have after tonight's game, but it's still awesome.
The best thing about Steph and Draymond not playing tonight were the turnovers. There were no criminal turnovers tonight.
And Steph. And
yeah, those are the two that has the worst turnovers. So I hope they sat on the bench and saw what the others did and don't bring back all those turnovers into the game. My last point is regarding Brandon Pajemski. Listen, guys, the guys in the comments, Warriors fans all over. The kid is 21 years old. He started playing basketball when he was, like 14? There's going to be some flaws in his game, but I'll tell you what he has. He has an engine. He plays hard every time, and that kid can rebound that basketball. See, those 12 rebounds he has tonight, in 2 years, in 3 years when he's 24 years old, it's going to be that's going to be the norm. He's going to be grabbing 12 rebounds per game as a guard.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the pod's criticism comes, it's less to do with his performance and more so with the double standards we're seeing with the, like with the leeway he gets that some of the other young players have not gotten. Clearly the shooting struggles are an issue. But I watch a game like this, Kai, and all I see is the Warriors 3 years from now still continuing a dynasty that started back in 2014. This is incredible. The Warriors
we found the star. We have found the star. We know who the star is going to be. That's going to be Jonathan Kuminga. And he's not only going to be a star in the Warriors, he's going to be a star in this league because there's nobody who can guard him.
Kai, I'm gonna move on. Have a great night. Thank you. It was great to hear from you.
Sir.
Go Warriors, baby. Let's go to Kuminga supporter. Are you a first timer here? Welcome. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm a first time like on the show, but like I've been listening for a while.
First time caller, long time listener?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How you doing, man? What are your thoughts? What's on your mind?
I mean, what the guy previously said, like with Kuminga, I feel like the whole thing is if we're not gonna give him minutes, then what's the point? You might as well trade him, right?
Exactly.
But like if we're gonna keep him, we should give him minutes. So
exactly.
If he is our future, which I think he is, like just play him more minutes. That's like the whole. Like that's how we're gonna like go in the post-Curry era,
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right. And look, the Warriors are the criticism during this five-game losing streak, for the most part, the theme seemed to be that Stephen Curry is lacking a number 2 scorer on this squad. I firmly believe that JK could be that guy, but you have to instill confidence in him. You have to play him. But I do, like we saw tonight that when this kid is playing and rolling, he's virtually unstoppable. Like when like there are 2 big defenders trying to block him on that final bucket that he just flipped it in right over him. No problem.
And they're good defenders too.
His athleticism is absurd, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, and they're good defenders too. It's like Dylan Brooks, Elman Thompson. Like he's still getting it done. That's really tough.
It is tough.
I think the thing like I want to say about like pods and stuff, like I feel like it just like when it comes to like shooting and stuff with young people, you just gotta like take your time,
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like there's no way you could continue to shoot this bad for the whole season. 20% from the threes, like kind of crazy, So
you're absolutely right,
like, and it doesn't make sense to like trade him because you're not gonna want to trade for a guy who's like shooting that bad. So he has more value to us than anybody else, and his rebounding is all like very valuable.
I strongly agree. I mean, I think if you tune into the show regularly, I have faith in this kid. I think he's going to be a star in this league. He just has to play, and I'm with you. We're at a point where it's either play him like tonight and get these kinds of results consistently, or trade him. Trade him while you can get something incredible back for him. But the herky jerky 15-minute games, that's a joke. That has to end, dude. That has to be over. I'm hoping that we don't go back to that after this feel good night. But where in the world are you, Kuminga supporter? What's your name and where in the world are you?
I'm from the Bay, but I'm in Indiana right now for college.
So, what school?
IU.
Oh, nice. You got to join in when I'm doing Wednesday mornings with Damon Bruce. He's an alum.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's your show, right? I tune in for all the Golden State stuff. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, enjoy your time out there, man. Call it my college years are my favorite years of my life. I hope you're taking advantage of it. Party, just don't kill yourself. Enjoy all the strange you can get, because this is the time of your life where you can have that kind of fun. I mean, look, if you're in love or you have a partner, more power to you. But what I'm trying to say here is you're only young once, brother. Have fun. College is amazing. Thanks for tuning in. Any final thoughts before we move on?
No, thank you for having me on.
Of course. Thank you. Shardal, I'm going to bring you on in just 1 second. I just want to address real quickly here someone in the chat. Who was it? I want to find that comment really quickly. And I don't think I can. Someone was asking where's Sophia Jones. She'll be back Monday, I promise. And I love the fact that people are missing her. She is developing as a broadcaster. She will join me again Monday. She might join me tomorrow night. I might have another guest as well. We shall see. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. Sophia is a great human being. And she's going to be a star someday. I'm incredibly lucky to have her as part of this program. Shardal, and then Han Solo, you're next. How are you doing, man? Look at with the Dub Nation logo. What was your reaction to tonight's beautiful win?
As a diehard Warriors fan, this was a very thrilling victory for the Dubs. They took down the Rockets 99-93. They snapped a 5-game losing streak. I mean, I was getting very nervous because I was afraid that 5-game losing streak was going to go to 6. But I'm happy that they ended that tonight, got the win. It was a wonderful win for the Warriors. I try and go as many games to Chase Center as possible, trying to root on the team as much as I can, give them a little inspiration and hope. You know, Jonathan Kuminga led the way, 33 points. I mean, that guy's absolutely a star in the making.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, anytime he's on the court, he's unstoppable. Like that, nobody can stop that guy.
Why do you sound overmodulated tonight, Shardal? Are you just excited, or is something wrong with your equipment?
I'm just very excited that we got the win tonight.
I love it, Shardal. Where did you watch tonight? Were you at home?
I was watching the game from home.
Okay, so what's the next Warriors game you're going to, where you can root them on in person?
If I'm not able to go to the arena, I'll definitely root them on at home.
All right.
On NBC Sports Bay Area.
There you go. It's the only place you can watch it, unless it's on TNT or ESPN. But
and I love your show. I mean, I love coming on here. It's a great environment. You know, talking Warriors basketball with you. It's a great. I mean, I feel like family here coming on this show.
Dude, look, this community that we're
you bring me on the show with open hearts. That's why I like coming on the show.
Thanks, Shardal. I look, man. I don't think whatever. What I was trying to say is thank you. I will welcome you always, just like anyone else. I love the energy. I love your passion, dude. Like, not everyone on this planet has passion. Not everyone on this planet gets fired up or gets really cares about specific things. You clearly care about the Warriors. I love that, brother. And so you must be as bubbling with joy tonight as I am, and a lot of other people are, right?
And I love all the humor that you bring to the channel.
Thanks, brother. Thank you, Shardal. I want to give some time to other people.
Thanks for having me on the show. I'd love to come on next time. Next time I come on the show, I'll make sure to show my face. Next time I come on the show.
Tomorrow night.
I'll make sure to show my face.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow night, all right?
Yeah, see you tomorrow night, Sign. I want you to get to other callers because I don't want to stay on, take a lot of your time.
All right. Have a great night.
So get to your other callers.
Thank you. Thank you, Shardal. We'll
see you later.
Soon. And thank you. Han Solo Dolo joining us from Saginaw, Michigan, the hometown of Draymond Green, who was a cheerleader tonight wearing a Valkyries jersey. The Valkyries expansion draft is tomorrow. We're going to cover that on Monday with Sophia Jones. But for tonight, woo, there's so much still to break down. But your reaction, Han Solo Dolo, and how the hell are you doing in Michigan?
I'm doing pretty good. It's cold out here.
Yeah, it's cold here in California too. At least for me, it was a warm day actually, but at nighttime it gets freezing. Anyways, it's nothing compared to Michigan. You experience true cold, brother. Like,
oh yeah,
cold. The wind that comes, and I don't know if people are aware of this. The wind and the cold that comes from the Great Lakes makes people who experience winter in England freeze. It is next level. I've never experienced any other cold like that, and I thought I experienced every type of weather imaginable on this planet. Where you live is the coldest place I've ever experienced. So kudos to you for trying to stay warm tonight. But I'm sure the Warriors made you feel better, right?
Oh yeah, it's a good win. I'm glad that they started to take it downhill.
What was your reaction, dude? What did you think about this game, man? What stuck out to you, if anything?
It was a good win. I like how they didn't settle for threes, because that was annoying me with the threes. They need to work on their free throws. I don't know. It looks like they're not practicing them a lot, because when you work on your free throws, you gotta shoot those when you're tired, and that's the best way to work and practice on your free throws. So it looks like when these guys get tired, they start to lose their shot. So it looks like they're not practicing enough.
By the way, Simon in the chat saying try Canada, but dude, the Great Lakes are part of Canada as well. I've done British Columbia in the winter.
Yeah, Great
that's
Lakes are
cool.
part of
But
Canada.
I imagine like Canada near the Great Lakes, like Toronto, the Ontario province, like those places are bud cold too, man. I don't know.
You can see Canada from Detroit.
There you go, man. There you go. So I totally understand. What are you up to tonight, man? It's Thursday. Are you partying? Is it work tomorrow?
No. Yeah. Work tomorrow. Just waiting for a fire call. So.
All right. Are you going to join me tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'll be on.
I love it. Before we go, what are your thoughts? Richard Marquez, who's a Golden Dazer, keeps bringing up Richard Beekman in the chat. Backup point guard, they undrafted out of, I believe, Virginia, two-time Defensive Player of the Year in the ACC. I wouldn't mind seeing him, but at the same time, Pat Spencer's doing good as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's room for him. What do you think, Han Solo?
I like Pat Spencer. I think he should be playing over Pods right now because Pods just annoys me with his jump shot. He can't make anything.
What do you feel, Han Solo? What's your reaction to Pinoy Reformat writing in the chat? Quote, I fear Kerr's going to do something to kill Kuminga's confidence. Oh, let's keep it positive tonight, Pinoy. What do you say to that, Han Solo?
There's no one to replace him. So Kuminga's going to get all his minutes because Draymond is sitting out. So just give it to Kuminga and let him grow and let him go.
And folks in the chat talking about your water quality. Saginaw's isn't near Flint, is it? Is that a neighboring city?
We're about an hour away from Flint.
Okay, that's a good distance. So the Flint issue with water is not affecting you, right?
No.
Okay.
Good. I mean, our water's pretty bad everywhere, so it's not just Flint, to be honest.
I hear you on that, dude. It is weird how certain cities just the water is trash. So Michigan water is not very good, huh?
No, they say they're changing the pipes, but it is what it is. I don't know where our money goes.
Drink the filtered stuff, man. Drink the filtered stuff.
Exactly.
Stay healthy, stay safe, dude.
Yes, sir.
Let's get Han Solo. I'm gonna roll. Have a great night. Stay warm, all right, brother?
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you as always, man. Let's hear from Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr was at the podium, obviously, like he is before and after every game. And here he is talking about the title of this says Kerr discussing Kuminga's brilliance. It's been a while since I've heard Steve Kerr just praising Jonathan Kuminga. So let's hear what Steve Kerr had to say about his young 22-year-old who was the player of the game tonight.
A ton of responsibility there, and how confident were you that he was going to be able to deliver?
Well, he was having a great night, and it was a no-brainer to get him the ball. I took the timeout in order to get our offensive guys back on the floor. I was going offense, defense with Gary and Buddy, and then put Kyle in for the inbound at the end because I trust him to make that pass. And then JK just made the play. I mean, he got a couple of ghost screens from one for Buddy, one from BP, just to try to confuse the switch a little bit. And JK just attacked, and that was the play of the game. It was just a beautiful drive and capped off a phenomenal night for him. He was brilliant.
It does suck that for Jonathan Kuminga that the only way he can get consistent minutes is to play like this. It's unfortunate. But at least for tonight, we can revel in the fact that the right player was given the proper minutes. Again, the way he closed was fantastic. He's already establishing himself to me as one of the best finishers in the game. The fact that he had 50% of his threes just is the cherry on top for a beautiful and brilliant performance tonight. I mentioned that the Warriors still struggled free throw shooting wise, but they got the turnovers down considerably, just 10, which I don't think it's a coincidence that they limited the turnovers to just 10 on a night where Stephen Curry and Draymond Green were out. But with that said, again, this was a borderline desperately needed win for the Golden State Warriors. They pull it off. Whew, and it's a damn feel-good win. Some other stats real fast. Points in the paint I want to bring up just because Alperen Sengun in that fourth quarter was – and this was an interesting battle tonight when it comes to the 2021 draft because each of these teams had two very high picks. Sengun technically was not a lottery pick. I think he was picked 17th. But the Rockets have Jalen Green, who was selected second overall in that draft. Alperen Sengun, who was selected, I believe, 17th overall. And yes, Warriors fans, I don't, if you're wondering, does the team regret taking Moody over Sengun? Probably. But, what can you do? That was in the past. And regardless, I thought it was an interesting matchup to see Sengun and Jalen Green versus Moody and Kuminga. Sengun was borderline unstoppable in that fourth quarter, where Jonathan Kuminga had in that fourth quarter scored 14 points on 6 of 8 shooting. Sengun had 12 points. The Rockets' plan down the stretch was very simple. Just give the ball to him and make him score. There was one play, Wiggins, I thought was fantastic defensively. He was isolated down the stretch on Sengun. I can't remember if Sengun made it or not, but Wiggins made life difficult on that drive, and that just sticks out to me. But regardless, in the matchup of these four 2021 first-rounders, the Warriors come away victorious again, 15 wins in a row now against the Houston Rockets. But I brought up Sengun because in terms of points in the paint, in this matchup, the Warriors, where is that? The Warriors still won that battle, which I think is fascinating. And a lot of that was JK because he's driving. A lot of that is Wiggins, who also gets a bulk of his points in the interior. But the Warriors won that points in the paint battle against a team that had Sengun, against a team that has Jabari Smith Jr., who, side note, had an awful night tonight, only scored 5 points. And they did it against a team where Steven Adams was even getting some easy buckets inside. But the Warriors, with Kevon Looney, who I thought, side note, had a fantastic game. He finished with 11 rebounds, 4 points, led the team in net rating with a plus 21. Trace Jackson Davis had some clutch minutes, I thought. He played 20 minutes and 50 seconds in this game. He has some really nice moves in the interior. Like, he's got touch on his shot. 1 minute he'll slam home a bucket, and you think to yourself, this guy's just like an inside force. And then the next minute, he's doing a crossover and just doing finger roll layups. He's an interesting player. And I thought he played excellent ball tonight as well. 3 of 4 from the field, 6 points. No rebounds for Trace Jackson Davis. As weird as that sounds, that is true. Did have 2 assists as well and a block. But the Warriors winning the points in the paint battle against a Rockets team with a lot of big dudes on the interior, that's impressive. And the bulk of that, again, Kuminga and Wiggins. These guys get a lot of their points on the inside, and they saved the day tonight. It was beautiful. The rebounding battle, the Warriors also won that, which from the eye test perspective, I don't know if you would think that the Warriors won the rebounding battle. It didn't look that way, but they did. They won the rebounding battle as well, 54-45. And again, the losing streak comes to an end, and the Warriors are right back in the mix. That guy dropping 10 ducats. You damn right I'm going to pay attention to you for that. Writing, quote, "Great win. JK and Wiggins balled out. We have the talent. We just need to add a few pieces." Melton and Guy for Walker Kessler and Jordan Clarkson of the Utah Jazz. Here's the I don't mean to rain on the parade, but I'm going to interject here and let you know that at least one report has indicated that Danny Ainge, who's just a pain in the ass when it comes to negotiating a trade with, wants 2 first-round picks for Walker Kessler. He's asking for the moon for everybody, so I don't know if that's a possibility. That guy adds, then trade Jordan Clarkson and Podziemski for Dennis Schroeder and Dorian Finney-Smith with the Nets. All right, so let me rehash one more time what you're proposing. And again, I think the Utah Jazz will poo-poo that trade. I like it. I like the concept of it, but you're proposing basically trade DeAnthony Melton's expiring 1-year deal, which is totally worthless, except for a team that wants an expiring contract, and Guy Santos, who is just literally rotting away on the bench, for Walker Kessler and Jordan Clarkson. But then you want to keep Walker Kessler and trade Jordan Clarkson along with Podziemski and get back Dennis Schroeder and Dorian Finney-Smith. I will say this about your trade proposal, sir. Short term, great move. It'll benefit them. The Dorian Finney-Smith part of it actually like the best, as weird as that may sound. Long term, there is a strong possibility there will be regret. I do think Podziemski has the potential to be a great player long term, even with his shot completely screwed up the way it is right now. But I don't hate it. I don't hate your idea. Steve White saying, now here I was thinking that Kuminga and Wiggins couldn't play together. Exactly. They have to play together. If the Warriors want to be serious this year, those two have to be a part of it. The identity of the Warriors right now, from what I'm seeing, is 4/5 of the way there. This is why I still think a trade is desperately needed. Steph, Wiggins, Kuminga, Draymond Green. You're almost there. DeAnthony Melton was that fifth guy. Buddy Hield sometimes is that guy. And Buddy tonight, I thought the effort for Buddy Hield was there. But the shooting was not. 1 of 8 from the field, 1 of 6 from deep, meaning his two-point field goal attempts were he missed those. Did grab 5 rebounds, had 2 assists, was a plus 18 in net rating, meaning when he was out there, his efforts were producing. The players that absolutely slaughtered it with net rating were the starters. All 5 starters were in the positive: Wiggins, Kuminga, Looney, Buddy Hield, and Brandon Podziemski. They were the difference in tonight's game. But in terms of the big picture, like, I don't know if Podziemski is that fifth guy for a closing lineup pursuing a championship. That's where I still think there is a need for some sort of move to improve this roster. But they're close. They're very close. And this game was just awesome. I don't know what else to say about that. Let's see what else in the chat here as we start to slowly wrap it up. Richard Marquez, Looney, Curry, Draymond, Kuminga, Wiggins. There it is. So Looney, you think is back in the 5? Huh? I don't hate that. I mean, Looney's playing some good ball this year. I thought his defense tonight was exemplary. In previous seasons, Sengun would have eaten him up alive beginning to end. He was holding his own down there. So kudos for Kevon Looney, someone who I have criticized considerably for his defense. Still not convinced like it's just switched where he can now take on some of the best bigs in the game. But he played fantastic tonight. And I don't hate it if that's your closing 5. Let's see if there's anything else in the chat I need to address. SG Sports Talk, Chardal saying, when's the show tomorrow? Right after the Warriors and the T-Wolves, baby. It's the second of a back-to-back. Pinoy Reformat saying Colin Sexton of the Utah Jazz is a better target for that team for the Warriors to pursue. Jaybird in the chat saying, I live in Central Florida. Franz Wagner is a beast, but gets no attention from the media. I wouldn't agree with that. I see Franz's name mentioned a lot. If you feel slighted, Jaybird, it's because you're in Orlando. Your media market's one of the smallest in the country. And in terms of media attention, sadly, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not justifying it. I'm just telling you how things are. The NBA is a business. They want to make money. They want to grow this game. And no matter who is playing in Orlando, they're never going to get the attention that, the LeBrons and the Stephs of the world will get. I don't think Kuminga is getting more attention than Franz Wagner. I'll tell you that. And I also see Paolo Banchero getting a shitload of attention from the media, and rightfully so, because he's a badass mofo. I'm not saying Franz is a bad player, but Banchero is that next level superstar type. And if he didn't get hurt, I think the Magic will be getting even more attention. Carson Taylor dropping $1.99. Carson, side note, I think we follow each other on Instagram. Just saying what's up. I think I remember you from there. Carson Taylor again saying trade Moses Moody for Colin Sexton. Moody had an interesting one tonight because I thought he was playing great basketball. And then you look at the box score. He was 1 of 7 from the field. He was 1 of 5 from deep. I think his 3-point percentage has dropped below 40%. Let me take a look at that real fast just to confirm. Moses Moody on the season is shooting, where is this 3? It's now down to 38.4, which is still good. That's where Clay was last year. And nights like these will drop the percentage, but I thought he had a good game. The box score, again, will not reflect that. It finished the game, again, with 6 points. 1 rebound, and he missed half his free throws. He had 6 free throw attempts. The good news about those 6 free throw attempts, he got fouled 3 times. Every time he went to the free throw line, it stops the Houston Rockets from pushing the ball. It makes the Warriors defense and their life a million times easier because they can set themselves. If they know they're facing a half-court offense. It sucks that he missed half his free throw attempts, but at least he was getting to the line. One thing I noticed in this game as well, and I have to acknowledge it, I did not think the officials made a difference. And I love that. I don't know why this can't be the case every night, but the officials tonight were consistent. They were not blowing the whistle on every goddamn play. And what I have seen over the years is every time the officials stay out of the way and call a consistent game, the Warriors win. Okay? When the Warriors lose, 9 times out of 10, they're losing to the other team and to the officials who never give Stephen Curry love. And part of me, I'm like, as I'm saying this out loud, I'm wondering, is Steph part of the reason? Like, does the NBA have something against them? I mean, I've always subscribed to what is a conspiracy because there's not a lot of evidence, but I've always subscribed to the notion that the NBA is biased against any athlete who is not part of Nike. And I've always wondered that, man. And regardless, it was a fair game tonight. And usually when the refs let them play, the Warriors win. And I thought tonight was a clear example of that. In terms of free throw attempts, the Warriors did have 10 more. There were 27 free throw attempts for the Warriors tonight, 17 for Houston. So I'm guessing Rockets fans, if they hear that, are going to immediately think, you biased son of a bitch. Why the hell are you saying that? My team got screwed over. I thought it was consistent and fair, but that's at least what I saw. Who knows what other people will feel about that. Let's see if there's anything else in the chat, and then I'll do the NBA scoreboard, and then we'll wrap it up. Jags2, is that how you pronounce it, is writing that Podziemski will never find his shot because he didn't have one to lose. Don't forget, and again, I know the Santa Clara thing will add some skepticism, even though Jalen Johnson is alum from there, Steve Nash many years ago coming out of Santa Clara, and then Brandon Podziemski, a Santa Clara product as well. His one season at Santa Clara, his sophomore year in college, he shot 43.8% from deep. I don't want to just pretend that didn't happen. And then last year, he wasn't a horrible three-point shooter either. So I'm not ready to just immediately assume that he's never going to be a good shooter. He's struggling now. There's no doubt. But I'm not ready to just, jump to the assumption that he'll never find his shot either. Ryan23000, this is something we'll take a look at tomorrow if Draymond Green does play, writing no Draymond equals Kuminga is amazing. We shall see. I'm pretty sure Draymond played in that last Rockets game. But regardless, it did open a door of opportunity for Kuminga to get even more minutes because Kerr did not have Draymond to go to in a lot of those clutch plays down the stretch. Pinoy Reformat adding that Pods did have a floater last year and that maybe coaching is the issue. Shardal, you're asking what time is the show tomorrow? Dude, it's right when the Warriors game ends. So I think they tip off at 7. Usually 9:35 is the approximate start time for the show. Give or take 10, 15 minutes. That's when we'll be starting. Otherwise, Treeson this is a very interesting notion. I'm not opposed to this. Treeson writes that Draymond Green should come off the bench. I wouldn't hate that idea. It would bolster the second unit. It would give a player like Kuminga a chance to get into a rhythm earlier in the game. Doesn't mean Draymond can't close the game. It's not a horrible idea. Pinoy Reformat adding that Draymond Green fouled out in that last Rockets game, but Kuminga was still playing, right? I mean, it wasn't like until that point Kuminga was getting slighted by Steve Kerr. Shardal, no, you cannot be like a co-host for the whole night. But I'll welcome you on the program, brother. Again, around 9:35 approximately. Anyways, let's talk about the Steve White. The love goes right back to you, brother. Come back on the show sometime, please. All right, let's do the NBA scoreboard and wrap it up. We're approaching an hour. Again, a feel-good win, a huge win for the Golden State Warriors tonight, led by Jonathan Kuminga. 33 points, 7 rebounds, was 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. The youngest Warriors forward to record multiple 30-point games since Chris Webber did it in 19 94. That's courtesy of Stat Mamba. Here's one more clip from Steve Kerr. This is courtesy of 95.7 The Game. Actually, you know what? I got two more clips, but let's hear from Steve Kerr. This one is courtesy of the NBA. And this clip refers to Steph and Draymond coming off the bench and rooting on the team. This is I'm curious to hear this one. Here is Steve Kerr. Again, this is courtesy of the NBA's Twitter account publishing this clip where Steve's talking about Steph and Dre being cheerleaders.
Both of your Hall of Famers kind of walking up and down the sideline throughout that game. Were they chipping in? What was that?
Oh, they were great. They were, Steph and I were discussing the timeout situation. 33 seconds left, up 3. I took the time. We were discussing it beforehand. Should take the time out to get our foul shooters in and our, we needed a really good offensive possession. So we needed spacing. And so, I'm talking to Steph about it. And Draymond's talking to our guys in the huddle about, what's going on defensively, talking to Stack, talking to CD. So they were very engaged, and we needed that.
Hell yeah. Sorry about that. And that was Tim Kawakami asking that question. And here's a courtesy of 95.7 The Game. One final Kerr soundbite for the night. Here is Kerr talking about Andrew Wiggins. I was not aware of this, but apparently Wiggins has been dealing with an ankle issue. I thought that was like a while ago. I didn't realize it was still affecting him. Steve Kerr said that Wiggins played through that in his phenomenal night. Let's hear from Steve Kerr talking about Andrew Wiggins, who also had a phenomenal game. Now, they're not winning without Wiggins also being a force inside. Here is Steve Kerr. Turn up your volume, because usually when we play clips from 95.7 The Game, their mics, even though they're the flagship station of the Warriors, they should have their mics connected to that podium, but they don't. So the levels are always low, since this is from a cell phone recording, most likely from Whitney Sandretto, who will be coming on the show at some point. Whitley, you need to come on this show. We've been trying for like 2 years. She will come on this program at some point. Great individual, side note. But anyway, so most likely she's the source of this clip. And enough of me talking. Here's Steve Kerr.
We really got going offensively, 22 points overall, with 9 rebounds. How engaged do you see him for the full 4 quarters?
Wiggs was phenomenal. I don't even know if he should have played tonight. He had the ankle, but he knew Steph and Draymond were out, and he knew how important this game was, and he gutted it out. He's been that way since he's been here. Iron Man. I think the first 7 years of his career, he might have missed 15 games. So we know we can count on him night after night to be there for us, and he knew he had a lot of responsibility tonight with Steph and Dre out. He and JK really both did a great job of providing the offense.
And that's Steve Kerr giving props to Wiggins playing through an ankle injury. There's one more soundbite I want to play. There's a lot more than usual coming down the pipe. Part of that being that the Warriors are at home. They don't have a contingent following the team on the road. That's the economics of modern media for you. So when they're at home, you get sound bites. When they're on the road, you hope that Anthony Slater gets some clips. This is Kevon Looney, who was one of the Warriors players who took to the podium after the game. And here he is talking about Wiggins and Kuminga, how they played. Looney was on the floor with those two for a lot of the minutes tonight. We've talked about him having a great game tonight, battling the Rockets' bigs. And here's Kevon Looney talking about his teammates and tonight's win in general, snapping that 5-game losing streak, 99-93.
Like that. I think he showed that he can do it. I think that's the next step forward for him. Each game is different. We don't ask him to score every game. Some nights it's his, where we need him, might get 20, 30 points. Other nights he might not get that many touches. But I think he showed that he can score. He can get to the rim. He can get to the foul line when we need him to. So I think that's going to be part of our evolution as a team, is him stepping up and Wade stepping up to be able to score for us in the fourth quarter, not just depending on Steph all the time.
There we go. Then that was Kevon Looney talking about the evolution of Kuminga's game. And again, let's hope that this was not a one-off and that we start seeing consistent minutes from Jonathan Kuminga because as I've said repeatedly, and I believe this fervently and with conviction, great things happen when Jonathan Kuminga plays. Chardal, we're going to miss you tomorrow night. You have to work. What am I going to do without you, man? What am I going to do? You break my heart. You son of a bitch. You broke my heart. I don't know if I'm going to let you on this program anymore after that. I'm kidding. I'm being facetious, Chardal. I'm totally joking with you. Dude, when you're available, come on. You're always welcome. And thank you for the donation. And thank you for just your contributions, man. You bring a lot of positive energy. I respect you. Thank you. Chardal will not make the show tomorrow night. We'll see you when you can make it. All right, let's go around the rest of the NBA to wrap up the show, because the Warriors are not the only team that played. And then we'll finish up with the standings to see where the Warriors are after this win tonight against snapping a 5-game losing streak. The Warriors improved to 13-8 on the year. And again, that's why that hot start at the beginning of the season, where the Warriors were 10-2, 12-3. It's that this is why that was so important. You can afford. I'm not saying I'm not welcoming losing streaks, but what I'm saying is you can afford a 5-game losing streak against some stiff competition with a start like that, and rebound and recover and gain your footing again and get back on track. But in terms of the standings, we'll get to that in just 1 second. But going around the league tonight in terms of the scoreboard, there were a lot of other games. The Chicago Bulls, they have the player that I want more than anyone in terms of a trade. And I'll tell you why. There's 2 reasons. Nikola Vucevic. Reason number 1, he gives the Warriors exactly what they need. A big who can space the floor, who can score at will pretty much anywhere on the court. Phenomenal rebounder. I know he's a below average defender. I also don't give a damn about that. And the second reason why I advocate strongly for Nikola Vucevic is because the price tag is low. You can give DeAnthony Melton's contract. You could throw GP2 in there. Side note, I know GP2 had some good moments tonight defensively. I don't want to see him shooting threes ever again, ever. Those threes are so ugly. Like, there's no touch on them. They're like ricocheting. Like GP2's 3 looks like an 8th grader trying to make a 3-point shot and like using all their muscle, and they're like angling the shot and heaving it sideways. Almost. I don't want to see that again. The GP2 is not a 3-point shooter. Once upon a time, he could make the corner threes, but those, they don't fall. They're ugly. Stop shooting threes, GP2. And the Warriors, you could trade GP2. You could trade DeAnthony Melton. You could throw in a 2nd-round pick because the Bulls are about to rebuild. They don't care about Vucevic. You don't have to give up virtually anything to get back an elite big. And when I say elite, I mean that. Tonight, how did he do? 39 points, 8 rebounds. The Bulls beat the San Antonio Spurs. Side note, Vucevic did that with Wembanyama as the defender. I would love Nikola Vucevic on the Warriors. Again, super. You don't have to give up anything. You don't have to sacrifice your future. You don't have to give up a 1st-round pick. All you got to do is match salaries and throw in a 2nd-rounder so you can make the Bulls happy. You can get him for that cheap. And I'm just checking to make sure that okay. So Wembanyama did not play tonight. He did not do that with Wembanyama defending him. Still. I mean, 39 points, 8 boards. He was 2 of 6 from deep, 16 of 22 from the field. I want some Vucevic. That's my ideal player. Bulls beat the Spurs, 139-124. Keldon Johnson, 28 points in the loss for the Spurs. Let me see if there's anyone. Mark Medina adding, hell yeah, he'd be a perfect fit. And again, I would not be for it if there was a price tag attached to it. Like, if the Bulls wanted a 1st-round pick for him, they can kiss my ass. By the way, Kuminga's at the podium. If that sound drops in time, I'll play that tonight. Otherwise, what are you going to do? So anyway, so give me some Vucevic, please. And the Bulls come away victorious. The New Orleans Pelicans pulling off an upset at home tonight. They defeated the Phoenix Suns 126-124. Brandon Ingram. Side note, I know Larry Krueger and I and myself more specifically have talked a lot about Zion Williamson as being someone who could be a high-risk, high-reward type player to trade for. Brandon Ingram's also out there. And I know that it didn't work out with him and Steve Kerr in terms of the FIBA Cup, but still, even though it's not realistic almost entirely because Steve Kerr is so damn picky, but I wouldn't mind Brandon Ingram on the Warriors. I mean, think of how perfectly he would fit with this team. How valuable his length would be. How awesome the spacing would be with his 3-point shooting. You can dream. Anyways, Brandon Ingram had 29.7 rebounds for the Pelicans in the win. Grayson Allen, 13.6 rebounds, 10 assists in the loss for the Phoenix Suns. Those are your top performers. The Pelicans improved to 5-18 on the year. The Suns dropped to 12-9. By the way, the Spurs, when they lost, they fell to 11-11 on the year. The Bulls improved to 10-13. The Memphis Grizzlies defeated the Sacramento Kings, the reeling Warriors' little brothers, 115-110. Memphis improves to 15-8 on the year. The Kings, they're getting desperate, folks. They're starting Malik Monk. That's kind of a desperate move. They dropped to 10-13. Desmond Bane, 18 points, 8 boards, 7 assists for the Grizzlies. Domantas Sabonis, 17 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists in the loss for Mike Brown's Sacramento Kings. Let's see if there's anything in the chat that I should be addressing. So in Zamasu We Trust writes that Brandon Ingram can't defend and he shrinks during playoff time. Hey, but people were saying the exact same thing about Wiggins. Just keep that in mind. Ryan 3000 writing, Ingram would be so awesome. He would. And I think you could get him for nothing. It seems like, his contract's going to expire at the end of the season. He wants a big deal. I don't see the harm in taking a flyer. You probably just have to give up a second-round pick. Anyways. Barry, a ball breakdown. We're wrapping up the show right now, but if you ever want to jump on, I post a link in the chat. All you got to do is click on that link, come on and join me. But we're coming up near the end of it. You know what? Here, I'll give the link again. Why not? Here is the link. All you got to do is click that. I'll bring one more person on tonight. Why not? There you go. So click on that if you want to come on and talk Warriors or anything else. Moving along with the scoreboard, the OKC Thunder improved to 17-5 on the season, defeating the Toronto Raptors in Toronto. Talking about that cold weather in Canada that we were discussing earlier in the show. 129-92 the final. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, your top performer for the Thunder with 30 points. Scotty Barnes, nice to see him back. Speaking of 2021 draft picks, I think he was fourth that season, taken fourth overall. 12 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists. For the loss, the Raptors dropped to 7-16. The Thunder again improved to 17-5. The New York Knicks, they're starting to get their shit together. 125-101 winners over the Charlotte Hornets at the Garden tonight. Karl Anthony Towns, 27 points, 16 rebounds. Brandon Miller leading the way for the Hornets as a top performer with 26 points, 6 rebounds. The Knicks improved to 14-8. The Hornets drop to 6-16. The Dallas Mavericks, and if someone in the chat can explain to me what's going on with Klay Thompson, because I don't see him playing lately. Oh, no, he played tonight. All right, well, there we go. Never mind. But I know he's missed a few games. I was curious what the injury was. So Klay was back tonight, scored 11 points, was 3 of 5 from deep. Klay was Klay and Luka Doncic were each plus 36 in net rating. That's what happens when you play the Washington Wizards. They beat them 137-101. The Wizards, easily the worst team in the NBA. The Mavericks improved to 15-8. The Wizards dropped to 2-18. Doncic, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, a triple-double for your top performer for the Mavericks. Bagley, the third. Was that your top performer for the Wizards? That's what ESPN is saying. Marvin Bagley, the former number 2 pick by the Sacramento Kings. Didn't the Kings pick him ahead of Luka Doncic? Am I remembering that correctly? Well, anyways, Marvin Bagley, the third, 16 points, 8 rebounds in the loss for the Wizards. Former Warrior Jordan Poole in 32 minutes of play, just 11 points, 2 of 8 shooting from deep, 4 of 14 shooting overall. And last but not least, this was probably the runner-up for game of the night after the Warriors and the Rockets. The Cleveland Cavaliers improved to 20-3. They take care of the Denver Nuggets in Cleveland, 126-114. Spida, 28 points, 6 assists for Mitchell. Nikola Jokic, another triple-double, 27 points, 20 rebounds, 11 assists in the loss. The Nuggets dropped to 11-9. Again, the Cavaliers improved to 20-3, which is good, I believe, for the best record in the NBA. The Boston Celtics, second best at 18-4. Orlando's third in the East at 16-8. The OKC Thunder with the best record in the West at 17-5. And talking about standings, amazing what one win will do. The Warriors now are fifth in the Western Conference at 13-8. They're tied with the Grizzlies, the Mavericks, and the Rockets in the loss column. All four teams only have 8 losses collectively, but Houston has 15 wins. Dallas and Memphis also have 15 wins. The Warriors have played 2 games less. They have 13 wins. So they're the Warriors just a game behind Houston, Dallas, and Memphis for second place in the West, and the Warriors just 3.5 back of OKC. And again, that's what that hot start does for you. Anna, if that's your name, welcome to the program. How are you doing?
Hi, oh my God, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Welcome.
So I'm not gonna lie, this was like actually so absurd because there's this documentary on YouTube, and you're part of it, the Wardell Stephen Curry documentary.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah,
yes.
you watch that?
Oh my goodness, that was like kind of how I started getting into basketball. Like I'm such a newbie to like I definitely jumped on the bandwagon a bit late, but I'm so excited to like be on it, and like you inspire me so much. So
Anna, first of all, Anna, real fast. First of all, your voice is spectacular. You have you're a natural when it comes to broadcasting, so kudos there. I'm being genuine. And the documentary you're referring to, Trice High produced that. He's been a guest on this show, and it's called Wardell.
Yes,
it's on YouTube. Strongly recommend checking it out. I was fortunate to be a part of that, and thank you for bringing that up and for the kind words.
Absolutely, you were such like a big inspiration. Like I started a YouTube channel just for funsies, like, but honestly, like as I said, I hopped on to the bandwagon so late, but you were just amazing. I watched a documentary twice, actually.
Thank you.
I think back to back. Like,
have you always been a Warriors fan, or did you watch that and then realize I love basketball?
Well, actually, so my job, I do live captioning for Sports Center, TSN, stuff like that. So I started doing some captioning for sports, and I was fortunate enough to actually caption a Warriors game a while back. But I wasn't like really a fan. I didn't really know much about basketball. Like I never really looked into it. Was never inspired by a player until I saw Steph Curry play, and I was like, oh my God, like insane! This is generational talent, and like I'm so fortunate to be able to witness that. So after that I started watching more and more games, and it was just heartbreaking that we only got into the play-ins last year, but I have so much hope, and some may say it's blind hope and delusion. I don't care.
No. Just to add to that, Anna, I've interviewed Steph about 6 times, give or take. I don't know, but the point is, and I've been around him. I've lucky to hang out with him once. He is as genuinely like quality as you'll ever find. Like everything you hear about him is true. He's one of the best dudes on the planet, and I can't help but root for the guy, man. Like I do have my one bias in this world, and I'm really grateful that the bias doesn't have to lack genuineness to it, because he's that good and he's that high quality of an individual. I am totally biased when it comes to Stephen Curry. He's just a good dude.
No shame. There's no shame to that. Like honestly, like I have been talking about basketball to my friends, and like I have a Warriors sweatshirt, and some people always say,
why are you hiding? There's like in the chat, for example, someone complimented your voice by saying you sound like Scarlett Johansson in the movie Her.
God.
Have you ever seen that movie?
You guys, stop. That's so
Where is
sweet.
it? I gotta find that. Hold on one second here.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I hear it too. You got a really good voice. But are you not comfortable with the camera tonight? Is that why you're not turning it on?
Not tonight. I'm like, you makeup off, like my lights are dimmed, but maybe some other time that'd be really cool. I don't know. I don't want to but oh my, this is like honestly insane. I'm shaking. Thank you, Pinoy Reformat, you sweetheart. That's so sweet.
It is sweet. But it's true. And the B Sloth's showing you some love as well.
Oh,
You got to come back on the show now. Like this first appearance,
are you for real?
You have to come back.
Are you for real?
Yes, of course. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
I'm like fangirling so hard over this right now. You have no idea. Like I did not expect to get to talk to you ever. Are you kidding me? Like I'm starstruck right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you shouldn't be, but thank you. No, you got to come back. You got a natural voice. I could tell you're outgoing, like you're not an introvert, or at least you're faking it beautifully if you are. Yeah, you got to come back. You got to come back.
I'm so down. I'm so down. I don't know how we'll get in touch, but like, yeah, wait, the link. Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I post the link every time,
right.
Or at least most times. The only time I don't is if I'm with Damon Bruce, because he has all the controls. I'm just ready. I'm along for the ride for that. But yeah, I post the link.
Yeah.
Join us tomorrow night. You don't have to come on camera either.
I would love to come on camera. I'll do my hair and stuff. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right. So I'm expecting that.
Yes.
And I'm guessing the audience right now is very curious to see you. Yeah. Oh, and before we go, I'm gonna preview tomorrow's game. They're gonna play the Timberwolves. What are your thoughts on that? Oh
my God. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This was so. My thoughts on this, if you were to ask me this like this morning, would be so different than like right now, because as I think somebody mentioned, like who knows, like if it was going to be a 6-game losing streak. And I think at that point I would be feeling quite devastated about the next 2 games, especially back to back, especially with like, the Wolves getting their mojo back, as somebody also heard say. Like they definitely are looking good. But honestly, like I heard that maybe Dre is playing tomorrow, so that gives me a little bit of an insurance marker. Although we played great tonight, which was just lovely to see. I went home, there was a minute left, and I had like a 5-minute drive home. I'm like, I can't handle this. I cannot handle this. I'm going home. I'm going to see what the score is. When I Google it, and we had 1, and I was like, I feel my depression just lifted. This is like a spell I've been under. It was crazy.
It is crazy. And I said the exact same thing. And again, I'm not proud of that. I really don't like that. This is who I am as a person, but
I relate to that so much. When you said that at the beginning of the show, I was like, oh my God, this is why I tune in. Like he gets it.
Oh man, Anna, you're a sweetheart. It sounds like you're immediately getting fans in the chat. So we're looking forward to this. I think a lot of people are looking forward to you making your encore appearance tomorrow. Do you have anything you want to promote before you go? Like is there, like you said, you do transcriptions. I don't know if that's worthy of promoting, but like,
that's just my day job. That's what I do from like 1 o'clock until 10 o'clock. That's just, it's a company. I live in Calgary in Canada. It gets really cold here, Cy. Yeah. Really cold. Holy crap. But
the cowboy area of Canada, is that correct?
We got Stampede over here. I can see actually the Stampede grounds from my little attic window. So that's us.
And please forgive, you're going to get some pervs, like, you're going to get a lot of immature comments. Just please ignore those if you come down, Anna. But so you're Canadian. You're fascinating. All right. So we're going to see you again tomorrow. Do you want to promote anything on social media? Do you want to just immediately get like 100 new followers?
That would be insane. I feel this is actually crazy. Thank you for the opportunity. What the heck? I do have a YouTube channel. It's so amateur. I do some like video edits, and my voice does not sound like that on there because I get like really nervous, but I feel like pretty fine right now. It's called Bay Area Ball Breakdown. If you guys want to check it out, I have like literally 3 videos. I will be working on more, but your girl's in school, your girl's working, so this is just a little hobby I have. But yeah.
And it's called, hold on, I'm looking it up right now. It's called Bay Area
Ball
Breakdown.
Yeah.
All right. And then so far I can't find anything. Is it new?
I mean, I've had the channel. It's like literally just like my personal channel. It still has Spinelli from Recess as the profile picture.
Well, I want to find it so I can showcase it on the show before we go.
I mean, if I'm back tomorrow,
do me a favor. When you come on tomorrow, we'll have it figured out by then, and then we'll promote it.
That'd be dope. Thank you.
Because I want to showcase this now, but for whatever reason, like it is not coming up. And
good.
Well, come back tomorrow. It'll be your incentive to have an encore appearance. All right.
Hell yeah. That's so exciting. Thank you so much.
The chat's already filled up with potential paramours and Pinoy reformat. I don't understand this reference. Adam Spinella. Do you know what he's talking about, Anna?
No, I mentioned Spinelli as in the Recess show, the animated show.
Gotcha.
That's my profile picture.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Anna, you I don't know if there was a better way to conclude the show tonight than your appearance. Thank you.
What an honor. Thank you.
Right back at you.
Have a wonderful night.
No, dude, right back at you. Anna, pleasure to meet you. And thank you so much.
Pleasure to meet you, Sai.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Have a
Hopefully
good
as soon
night.
as tomorrow, Anna. And go check out her channel, Bay Area Ball Breakdown. It's on YouTube. Please, if you find that, tell me where it's at. Anna, follow me on socials. Let's connect there as well. If you're down for that. Steve White giving you some love, saying thank you, Anna. So there you go. All right. Good stuff. I don't know how you could finish the show better than that. And that is a talented voice. I was being genuine with that. Good call to, I think, Pinoy for bringing up the movie Her with what's his name? The Joker, River Phoenix's brother, Joaquin Phoenix, and Scarlett Johansson as the voice. Great movie. Strongly recommended. Side note, if you're looking for a film to watch, but otherwise, the Warriors win. We've got amazing new people like Anna showing up on the show. Bravo. But most importantly, 5-game losing streak is snapped. We're feeling good. Have a great night, folks. We'll be right back tomorrow. And real quickly before we go, the Minnesota Timberwolves is who the Warriors are playing. If Draymond plays, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe it would be the first time since the infamous meeting last year where Draymond had Mr. Rudy Gobert in a chokehold that most people will probably not admit they loved, even though I loved it. That was just beautiful television, beautiful sports. So you got Rudy Gobert back. It's the new look Minnesota Timberwolves with Julius Randle. As Anna mentioned, the Timberwolves are somewhat getting their mojo back. They're 11-10 right now, but they do have a 3-game winning streak. They beat the Clippers twice, and then they beat the LA Lakers once. 2 of those 3 games were at home. So I don't know if that's them just flipping it around, but Anthony Edwards is never an easy opponent. And what I'll say to that is play Kuminga again. Play Kuminga. Great things happen when Jonathan Kuminga plays, and he's going to eat up those Minnesota Timberwolves and that defense. It is primed for him. Rudy Gobert is one of the most overrated athletes on the planet. I could see the Warriors schooling this team, but let's hope that the Warriors start their own winning streak. Oh, Abraham DeLeon, who always, dude, you always have like phenomenal contributions, brother. I commend you. It's at Bay Area Ball Breakdown. I want to hold on. So it's youtube.com/ I think you can put an @ in there at Bay Area Ball Breakdown. And let's see what this channel is all about. So we'll show some love to the show. Oh, here it is. Okay, so let me share my screen so you folks can see what this channel is all about. All right, so this is Bay Area Ball Breakdown. The channel has, oh, there it is. Okay, 3 videos. There you go. Subscribe. She has 9 subscribers. That is ridiculous. If you folks don't mind, please subscribe and show Anna some love. And again, she's going to come back tomorrow. Hopefully she'll keep her word. I'm going to hold her to that. So Bay Area Ball Breakdown is right there. No Dino, no stalking here. I'm just trying to show some love back. If Shardal wanted some love for his YouTube channel, I'd show it to him as well. I promise. But again, keep it clean, folks. Be professional. Show some decency if possible. All right, that is it for the show. What a great way to finish. And we'll be back at this tomorrow. Whole new day. Let's hope the Warriors start a streak of their own in this process. I don't know what the line is for that game. Let me go check out really quickly here. Bet Online, the official regardless. Oh, I see what's going on. I hope folks can hear me now. I switched. I'm using my computer mic. I don't know what happened there. Thank you, everyone. We'll be back at this tomorrow. Same time, same place, approximately. Go Warriors. 99-93 final. Jonathan Kuminga. Breakout game for him. A career high 33 points. This was a feel-good win, folks. Have a great evening, everybody. Thanks to everyone who joined us tonight. And until the next time.